Welcome back to OpenLine. Thank you so much for being with us on this Monday evening. We had a caller, but somehow we lost him, but we know his question. So, William, thank you for watching tonight. We're going to do our best to answer your question. And by the way, if you would like to go ahead and give us a call about your financial goals for 2016, how you're doing with them, if you need a little help, we're here for you tonight. Go ahead and give us a call. William received an annuity from his parents. Doesn't know what it is, doesn't know what to do with it. So give us the 101 on annuities, and then let's go from there.
All right. The annuity can be held, and there's different kinds of annuities. So basically there's three. There's fixed, variable, and there's indexed. An annuity, depending upon what kind of jacket it was held in, could be, and I'll say jacket because that just tells the government how to tax it. So if it was in an IRA jacket, that means all the proceeds from the annuity that he inherited from his mother are going to be taxable. If it's just a regular annuity, a regular deferred annuity, because by definition what annuities are is they're either tied to the market or they're in a fixed account like a bank. And that's where it gets a little bit confusing with what these three do. But the money grows tax deferred. You pay tax on the difference from what you put in to what it is worth. So, for example, if his mother put in $50,000 and it's worth $75,000, and it's just a regular annuity, not tax deferred annuity, then he'll pay tax on the $25,000, but he can take the whole
You can take some out. You don't have to wait a certain time.
Nope.
You can say, I want it, and here's your money, and wham, bam,
I'm assuming he's the beneficiary.
That's what it sounded like.
Okay, if he's the beneficiary, he can take it whenever he wants. If he's an owner, no, he's got to wait until 59 and a half because they're set up for retirement.
If he's the owner of it. So if you create the annuity, if you buy into the annuity.
Yes, or let's say he bought it with his mother.
Right.
Then they would both be on as owners typically, even though she passed away. If he's still an owner, he doesn't relinquish that benefit. He keeps all the money, but he's still handcuffed a little bit by the tax issues.
Yeah. So I want to talk about tax issues when we come up with. You want to jump into financial roadblocks?
Let's go wherever.
Okay. Yeah. Let's jump into roadblocks for retirement. So you have 10 of them. So let's take one at a time.
All right.
And the first one we talked about a little bit is not having that plan of what you want your life to look like in retirement. You said you want to keep on working.
I do.
I don't in retirement.
I'm out.
I know. Hey. But, you know, and my husband and I have talked, what do we want to do in those years? And that's what you want people to do. What do we want this to look like? And then what's it going to cost us to have that lifestyle?
Yes. And along those lines, you know, we have talked about people calling in today. I would love to hear what some of, you know, we talked about what their goals may be and if they're having trouble, or just share. Again, I'm trying to get some feedback from who's listening, what do they want to talk about, what do they want to hear. Plus, I would love to help somewhere, but let me answer your question specifically on the retirement and the roadblock of not defining your goals. What we're seeing and what's happening, and you know, we've talked about this in the past with our philosophy being about balance. So we want balance financially, physically, and personally. When you find what you love to do, and you have choices with that, it won't even feel like work, and it won't feel like it'll be your passion.
Yeah. So
what we're trying to have folks step back and look at and do is say, okay, what am I supposed to do when I'm here? Okay, now I took this from a financial question, I took it way over here to this lifestyle question, but that's really what is important, is really looking at what's important in your life, what you're trying to achieve. And if we can help you get to that point, because retirement, we're seeing a whole different trend. It's not what it used to be. We're not going to go to Florida typically.
And play shuffleboard.
Yes. In golf. You might do that for 6 months, but then you're going to go, okay, I'm tired of this. What am I called to do? What am I supposed to do? What are my gifts? What are my talents? But we want to have choices. That's the key.
Yes.
To be able to spend what you want to spend, go where you want to go, and have choices to then be free to say, I want to do this. One thing about that, which is really hopefully enlightening to everybody, it may not cost as much as you think. That is the greatest satisfaction that I see. It's one of the greatest satisfactions I see when somebody comes in and sits down and we actually go through their whole portfolio and do their portfolio stress test, and I talk about, you know, what is it you're trying to achieve? What's your lifestyle like? Well, John, I just, you know, I want to live comfortably. I don't want to worry. I want to spend time with my kids and my grandkids. Some will say not my kids, but definitely, definitely their grandkids. So, you know, we get this, it's not to be jet setting around the world,
Right.
and it's not to go do this. I want to help in my community. I want to do, well, how much do you think it's going to cost? And they think, well, I need this. Well, let's take a look. It doesn't.
Yeah.
It costs this, and you're there. So
Okay.
it's neat.
Your next rule of thumb here, don't set financial goals to achieve lifestyle goals. Oh, that's the roadblock.
Yeah.
People who are not setting those financial goals.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not setting the goal based upon their lifestyle
They
goal.
desire.
One of the traps there, or one of the things that causes depression and fear, is we hear in the news that we're supposed to have $2 million to retire,
Yes.
or $1 million, or
That's a huge mountain to climb.
yeah. But I have clients that can retire on 300,000. I have some that can't on 3 million. So it just depends, and that's not bad. It just depends on what your lifestyle is, you know. So yeah, set the goal based upon your lifestyle.
And like anything, whether it's a fitness goal or whatever, you got to commit to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Buckle down and do it.
Well, if you figure out why you want it, that will make the goal a heck of a lot easier. So if you can sit back and say, you know, I want to do this because it will allow me to do X. Well, now you're not just saving money for something that's abstract. You're actually putting aside resources for an end game that you know is going to deliver what you're looking for.
Another roadblock, if you're not investing early and regularly, but what if do we have if the 40-year-old sitting out there, or the 50-year-old, and they're like, I got to get started. Is it too
Yeah.
late? Holy
Nope.
mackerel. What do I do?
Start.
Yeah.
Start by writing down some of these goals. And with that, I would say, don't judge yourself. Don't say, oh my gosh, I can't do that, or I don't have enough money, or I'm not smart enough, or I don't have the resources, or it'll never come true. It doesn't work for me, it works for everybody else. You got to throw all that head trash away, and we all have it.
Oh yeah.
So it all creeps in. So we got to get rid of that, and we have to say, okay, what if? So maybe ask questions. What if I could retire at 60? What would that look like? Now we start asking questions, and then it'll open the door. So, but specifically, it's never too late. So if you're 40, if you're 50, if you're 60, if you're 70, it's never too late to set.
On the flip side of that, what would you tell the 22-year-old just getting out of college and getting their first job? What should they do financially to set themselves up well?
Start now.
But how much? How much of the paycheck?
There is a story, a very, very good story, called The Richest Man in Babylon.
Okay.
I don't know if it's true or not, but I think it's a fable. But The Richest Man in Babylon, it goes back, 300 or 400 years, and it talks about saving 10%, tithing 10%, and investing 10%. So, saving, tithing, and investing. Saving and investing are not the same thing.
No.
Savings are savings. So you want to have some money in the bank, and you want to be able to invest some money, whether it be in the market or, again, there's lots of different places we can put money, and then give some money, and you'll create that perfect life. So if you live on, and this is what I would suggest, and this is what I tell my kids, live on 70% of what you make, you'll never have an issue. Sometimes today, though, we're living on 120% of what we make.
Yes.
And I've been there. I was in that spot. Talking today with one of my employees about debt, and she's 30 years old. It was looking at buying a house, and how do we navigate some debt and get out of it. Everyone's been there. And sometimes you go back, and sometimes you go out. But there's just ways to take on good debt versus bad debt. But keep at it. That's it. We just have to. We often say we put guardrails on people's financial plans, and there's different ways we do that. We do it with some safe money and some other options. But same thing. It's kind of like. Well, I know you have kids, but I don't know if your kids are old enough yet. But when they become a little bit older, you're probably going to go to the bowling alley.
Sure.
You remember those little
the bumpers.
Yes. So we want to put some bumpers, and I want people to think about whether they're 20 years old or they're 60 years old, the same kind of thing. Give yourself a break. Start. You may have to bump into the guardrail a little bit or the bumper, but get back on the alley and keep moving.
Keep going.
Yeah,
keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Okay,
keep
we've
moving
gone through
down.
several of these rules. We've gone through 4. We got 10 to go. Stay with us. And again, if you have financial goals for 2016 that you want to brag on a little bit because you're doing great after the first month, or you need some help with, go ahead and give us a call during the break. We'll get you lined up. Can't wait to hear from you. Stay with us.